Hey guys, welcome back to another video here at the Outback Shop. Holy mother clutcher. Look at all these clutches we have sitting here on this table, guys. I want to go ahead and thank Harvey's ATV Parts, who's the developer and creator of the Mother Clutcher brand that you see on eBay. Thank you for all the info and time and getting these all set up and research. I mean, he spent a lot of time developing and researching all these different clutches that you see, you know, that you can go buy at half price than an OEM on eBay. And he's gone and critiqued them and basically made some good ones. So we're about to get into that and explain to you which ones are going where and what do what. So here we go. All right, guys, so we'll go ahead and just get this one out of the way. This is for the 570, and this is just a stock style with a two-way bearing. It's got the washer behind here as well. Some of the other clutches that I've seen on eBay don't have that. It's got the lock ring here in the back for the spider nut right here. I know my OE clutch does not have that. Let's see, it has the better pins, but this is just the stock style, ready to go onto the 570 whenever it's ready for a primary. So we'll go ahead, Clay, will you take that out of here and get that out of the way? So, that's out of the way. We can look into the clutches for the Ranger and the 800 Razor. All right, guys, so we have them laid out here. We're going to go over the Razor's clutches first to let you know what we are changing and why we're changing and what it comes with and whatnot. Just so y'all do know, when you do buy a full kit, you get a new clutch puller as well in the box. I do believe a whole kit is $589, right under 600 bucks to get a whole new primary and secondary, guys, which is, like I said, they're stout, they're nice. We're gonna go through them now. So here's the one for the Razor. It's got the red spring. This is the 09 style, and it also has a one-way bearing in it instead of a two-way. So this will only spin one way. It locks up the other way. So that is going to help out with engine braking, which the Razor 800s don't seem to have much of. This is the 08-09 style secondary, which they want to say is the upgraded secondary. This is the sought after one. It is the tied type. It doesn't twist, it just goes straight out. And basically with this style secondary and this style bearing on your primary, you have full engine braking, as Polaris would call it for their EBS models. So that is how they achieve their engine braking, is by a one-way bearing in the primary and having this the tied style secondary, I believe. So that's the most engine braking we will get out of a Razor. The one that is in there now has no engine braking, and it starts letting go almost as soon as you let off the gas, and then it ends up, you know, making a whole lot of racket. I like to hit the brake and stay on the gas slightly just to keep it engaged, so I don't have to do that anymore. These are going to take care of that. So that's what's going to be going into the Razor 800S, and we'll test them out and see what the differences are after we get them in there. All right, so let's talk about the Ranger for a second and its new setup it will be getting and why. So I have Clay here, he's going to help me out going over all these things, but the reason being that we are changing these clutches on the Ranger is I've gone through this clutch, which was the Polaris OEM one. It was sticking and having all kind of issues, so then I ordered this cheap Chinese thing here, and I gotta say, it was like about $200, and I don't think I ended up getting 300-400 miles out of it until it threw a button, as you can see here. So then I was kind of forced to buy another cheap Chinese piece of junk, which is in it now, and I don't really like that one either. So when I was talking to Harvey over at Harvey's ATV Parts about his Mother Clutcher brand clutching, he was you know, telling me all these details and everything he's done with them. And he said that he offers a upgraded style primary for the Ranger 900 XPs that rev over 8,000 RPM. So the 20 and 15 and below, I think, have a lower rev limiter than the 16 and ups. So you have to get, they make a upgraded one, which is this one, and then he also has a stock style, which is like that one size fits all. It's more like got this style spring and weights and everything. And he does sell that for the ones that don't rev over the 8,000 RPM mark. But this one will, I've revved my machine up, it will use this, so it's going to work. And the whole point of that is to get it in that 89 horsepower RPM range instead of the lower horsepower RPM range is what it's running in now. So that is kind of the whole purpose, to change these out, and additionally adding engine braking. I do like to have engine braking. Now this style clutch comes with a two-way. Normally you can ask for a one-way bearing, which I did. The spring in here in his upgraded style one is also a lot less springs. You know, y'all can see there's 1, 2. Here's the stock one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's definitely going to have a different engagement. These weights here he makes and have a different slope and design to them, which is going to help with the engagement and how it engages, and you know, when it shifts and everything. We've already gone through and cross-hatched all these up, and they are ready to go in. Just wanted to get y'all some footage and explain these clutches to you before we did that. We're also adding the secondary, the Tide type, which is going to also help with the engine braking. So like I had said with the Razor one, if you have a one-way bearing and the Tide type secondary, you have their engine braking, full engine braking. Clay's gonna help me go over this here, these two clutches here that we ordered. Yeah. This is that one that was installed and through a button, and the button shot out of the exhaust snorkel. But if y'all can see, this bearing, which only has about 400 miles on it, I know you can hear that. Look how easily that moves around. I mean, and then I know this one is even worse, I do believe. Oh my gosh, check that out. And then, so yeah, it twists. Check that out. He's able to twist it. So apparently my spider nut, or the spider, must have come loose. That's the only way I could see that happening. But I mean, even where the buttons ride, this is all ate up. Like, you can feel it. This one is still smooth, except for on one side. But like I said, it threw a button, so I wasn't gonna mess up my crank or anything and keep running it. So I was tired of having the cheap crap. So that's why, like I said, whenever I was looking for clutches for that 570 and I found these and I had watched some videos, I went ahead and called him, spoke to him, and after, you know, a lot of conversation between me and him, I decided to go with Mother Clutcher brand, because he put a lot of time and effort into getting these the way they need to be and critiquing them, and just kind of like Mud and Wheels does with the Can-Am rear diffs. He goes through a stock standard diff and he fixes it and makes it the way it should have been from factory. So that's technically, he's done the due diligence and gone and, you know, critiqued these and made them the way they should be. So I told him, let's get a bunch of sets and I will try them out on all my different units, and you know, let y'all see what they do and the changes that it's gonna make. Also, this kit, like I said, when you buy a full kit, you get a clutch puller as well, which this is a very nice clutch puller. I mean, probably like a $50 puller right there. I mean, it's thrown in there for free. Here's another one, probably like a $20 to $50 puller with this material. It's probably grade 8. So, look guys, so, yep, this is the Mother Clutcher clutches that are going to go on all the units. Harvey's ATV Parts, I want to thank him again. Can't thank you enough, man. Mother Clutcher brand, guys. Y'all go check him out on eBay and go check out his website, harveysatvparts.com, and let him know Patrick sent you from over here at Alpha Pack Off-Road. we'll come back whenever we get these installed in the different machines and show y'all what they're gonna do. Till then though, if y'all would, please hit that like and subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all take it easy. All right guys, so before I also forget, I wanted to show y'all some of these differences of these clutches and how they're basically, I don't know, joined to certain bikes and different transmissions in a sense. How is it that, you know, 800, can an 800 clutch go on a 570? Can a 570 clutch go on a 900? Do we know? I don't know. Here, let me let you know. So here we go. This is the 570's clutch, okay? This is the new one. So here's the part that goes on your crank. Here is the 800's new. They got the same insert here, okay? See how it's flush? All right, so if you look at the 900 though, this is different. So that insert on the clutch housings determines whether it can, what crank can it go on. So apparently the 900 crank is going to be like the 1000, but apparently the 570 crank is just like the 800's crank. And actually I took this and put it on the 570 crank and it does fit. So yes, you can use an 800 Razor clutch on a Ranger 570. You cannot use a 900 clutch on a 570 or an 800. You can use the secondary, so let me show you the difference with those. Clay, if you wouldn't mind grabbing that. Thank you, sir. Put that over there. All right, so here's the two different secondaries right here. So here's what I was talking about, the differences in the inserts. So here's the part here that determines which transmission it can go on. So the housings are all the same, but it's the part in the middle that attaches it to the transmission that determines what you can use. So this style, like I said, is for the Razor 800, which it has this little screw part in it. This one has the shaft part with the slits in it on the end, like the 900 and the Razor 570 transmission. So the Razors have that transfer case style transmission. So those are the two differences as far as what can go on what. So a 570 can accept the 900 XP's transmission secondary, just so you know. So but it cannot use the primary off of a 900. So you need a primary off of 800 to go on a 570 and a secondary off of a 900 to go on a 570 if you're going to do it. That's how they kind of swapped it around. But so those are the differences in how the buttons or the inserts and stuff make these clutches and secondaries go on to the different years. So this as well. So they change these inserts on the fronts and the backs to make them go on each machine. But anyway, wanted to throw that in on this.